guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're a new subscriber, thank you very much for joining the family. Why don't you just hit the subscribe button down below? I mean, it's free. Just support me, please support me. My enemies are against me, please. My enemies are after me, please just subscribe. If you're old and you're returning, thank you so much for returning to watch me. Yeah, so if you want to keep watching, just stay tuned and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Follow me on all my socials as they will be on the screen and in the description box down below as well. So if you want to keep watching, let's just get right into the video. We have a long video to go, guys. We have a really long video to go, so let's just get right into the video, man. Let's just get right into the video. A quick background: I'm a Nigerian who lived and schooled in Ukraine for about 6 years. I lived in Ukraine for 8 years total, but I did my medical school in Ukraine. And my journey started in my final year of med school, like my journey to move to Canada and stuff. So in my final year of med school, I was hell-bent on going to Memorial University of Newfoundland. Well, because that's every foreigner's dream, right? It's affordable and it's just a basically affordable place to live, right? So I was hell-bent on that school. But the thing with Memorial is that your program application deadline is in March, you wouldn't get a call back or an email back until 3 months after March. So that's a long ass time, right? I got tired of waiting, you know, because it's like, bro, I'm waiting for so long and these people don't want to reply me. So then I started doing my research into other provinces, and then I decided to come to Alberta straight up. Or of all, I had my program in mind. I had two programs in mind. I wanted to do kinesiology and medicine, right? So either or. On psychology, I had 3 programs in mind. So I know like it's very hard to get psychology if you don't have like a psych degree as your undergrad. So I wasn't really hopeful for psychology, but at least kinesiology and medicine, I was like, for sure I will get one of those. I picked 5 universities. After doing my whole research, I picked 5 universities. University of Alberta, U of A, that's where I am right now. University of Manitoba, the U of M, that's in Manitoba. I also picked University of Regina in Saskatchewan. I also picked University of Victoria in British Columbia, and then Memorial University of Newfoundland, because I had already thrown in an application in 2020 for that one. So those were my 5 schools, and then I started with the U of A because, again, this school is the U of A is a very prestigious university in Canada, and I wasn't aware of how much prestige this school had. So I started looking into medical programs like surgery, gynecology, pediatrics, and like stuff. They offer like those subsets, funny enough, in the U of A. If you just go to their website, I would leave everything in the description box below for you. So this video is immigration on education. Please, the mistake I was making, I was using my like social media email like Carmen Gosh, and no one is going to reply you. It looks so unprofessional. First of all, first step I took, my story is, my first step was I created a brand new email address with my name and my surname. I even put my picture there with my lab coat and my stethoscope. Like, I was serious. I was emailing people quite alright in 2020 in my final year, but when I sent the email to Winnie was like, what the fuck is this? This is rubbish. I wouldn't even reply you as a supervisor. I was like, you teach me how to write. You have to make a conscious effort to learn how to write. So that was basically what I did. I learned how to make a concise and polite email. And the third thing I did was to create my educational CV, because I'm applying for school, so and again I don't have like work experience like that. So I decided to buff up my CV, my educational CV. If you see it, you will want me to even come to your school. But everything I did, I put it in a concise and arranged manner with the help of my friend. Again, I don't know if I got in because I graduated with a red diploma, like that is with honors basically. Like, my transcript is top notch. My CGPA is 4 out of 4 on the Canadian scale. So I made sure of that. Like, a lot of people will tell you, oh, don't focus on your grades. Don't focus on your grades. Stay there. I'll be looking for schools to go to because you're limited your GPA is not so good, you're already limited, so you have to either go for a graduate diploma or look for somewhere else to go to, because these people, they are not going to, like, you even see there GPA of 3.5. My school's GPA, I think the lowest I've seen is 3 out of 4. Like, this is a really top school. So if you have hopes of of moving forward right now, if you're still in school, start taking your grades seriously, because it will affect you. Keep your GPA up if you know that you don't want to live where you're schooling. If your grades are not going to determine anything, but they will get you to the door for you to be able to express yourself and tell them why you deserve to be there, basically. So I had a red diploma. I worked so hard for it and I got it. So the GPA, well, I wasn't even looking at GPA honestly when I was applying to school. That's the ease you have. I wasn't bothered about the GPA. So made a concise email. I attached my diploma, like your school diploma, the certificate. I had my transcript and I had my CV. Those are the 3 documents I had on deck in every single email I was sending. So then I made a concise email and I sent it out to a bunch of supervisors. This was like in November, towards the end of 2020, right? I was sending out emails, being proactive and stuff. And then I wasn't getting like positive answers. Like, everybody was like, oh, I'm a sabbatical, oh, I don't have space, oh, I don't have this, blah blah blah, I'm retiring next year, you will be done in 2023, I will be retired before then, blah blah blah. So I already gave up hope. Like, my friend was always encouraging me. I would literally call her, I'll be like crying, like, yo, I'm so tired, maybe this Canada is not for me. And she'll be like, oh no, don't say that, like, you will make it, you will make it. She was basically encouraging me, right? And then she told me, like, why don't you look into applying to other programs? I was only applying to kinesiology and medicine. So I was like, you know what the heck, let me just, look into other programs. I know for sure I never wanted to do public health, God forbid. I never wanted to do public health, because that is not something that interests me or something I'm interested in. I know it's weird. Every medical student wants to do public health, but not me. So anyway, so I already gave up, and then we got into the new year. I was so happy. I was ready to apply to more programs, get this, be proactive basically in the new year. And then my trauma happened in January, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, please go and watch my life update video. I'm not about to get sad in this video by talking about it. I'm here to give you information, and that's what I'm gonna do. I couldn't do much because, again, I was depressed in bed, not doing anything. So in February, my supervisor had emailed me like, oh, would you be willing to work with me? Like, I've seen everything about you, you look like a good fit for me, right? So I went into a deep dive about my supervisor, and I saw that, oh, she was actually doing a research in a field that I am interested in, something I want to do. So I quickly replied her. We had a Zoom meeting, and it was like a match made in heaven. It felt so good. I actually had 2 interviews before her with 2 other supervisors, but it was an off vibe. It was weird. Another thing, advice number 4, if you have a meeting with the supervisor and it feels weird, don't do it, because that's the person you will be stuck with for 2+ years, and they will determine if you graduate or not. So if the vibe feels off, don't do it. So I had opportunities actually, but I just was looking for the right fit, right? So then I had the Zoom meeting with everyone in her lab, and they were super nice, super polite, super cool. So then another thing I didn't know was, in my school, as a supervisor, you were obligated to fund your research students, right? So what does that mean? I did a long research into this. I'm going to save you the stress, right? Funding is basically they would have a grant, and the government to give them some certain amount of money. So you're doing the research. A research is classified as a full-time job. So you would be compensated. Basically, you will be paid something called a stipend, and with that stipend, you would be able to work and you'll be able to study and not have to bother about getting a job, if you get what I mean. But again, if you're like me, that is a hustler, likes making money, you obviously want to get a second job to that if you have the time. So then she asked me what are my funding expectations. I was like, what is this woman talking about? So what is that? And then she now started explaining that first of all, the school is like obligated to give you a good amount of money yearly till you're done with your program. I was like, huh? Are you serious? Are you under something? Nothing is I was like, this was what I was doing in my head, but I was literally like, interesting, tell me more. I was literally professional. I was so professional that day. And then she stated how much I was gonna be getting. I was like, and then she said she's obliged to pay my fees. I was like, so you're paying me to study? Say less. Say less. I hopped on that and I was like, I accept. I take it. I accept. Like, what? Yo, like I said, everything happened in the perfect way. It was like God just ordained everything for me, because the way everything fell into place, I was telling my mom that I feel it was my brother that was doing all of this, low-key working behind the scenes, you know, watching over us and protecting us. So I just feel like everything happened so perfectly, and I'm just thankful to God. So this was February, right? After I got my admission, after I got my supervisor, I got a letter from her and everything. Then I applied for my admission, and I kid you not, my admission came in a week. 1 week, my admission letter was in my email. I was like, how? When I told my friend, she was like, what the hell? I said, how am I admitted in a week? Like, favor was just falling on my head. You guys. I got all the documents from school, and then I went to IRCC. So now I've talked about on how to get an admission. I'm moving over to step 2 is how to get a study permit. So for you to be able to get a study permit, the thing with Canada visa is like, it's so different from the rest of the world, because you have to fully convince your visa officer that you deserve to come to Canada, basically. Even if you have your admission, there are people who have admissions and have been denied like 10 times. So even if you have your admission, that is not a guarantee, and so you have to be fully prepared. You have to, and that's why a lot of people use agents. I'm an agent too. Come and patronize me. I will help you. Anyway, so I applied from Ukraine. Nigeria application is quite different. It's the same thing, but it takes longer. That's just it. So I kind of knew that I was 70% going to get my visa, but then when you hear gist and people's story, you have to be doing gym. So I made sure I did not give them any reason to deny me my visa, right? I did not give them any reason at all to deny me getting my visa. So then I started getting all my documents from Nigeria. I'm going to do a separate video on the documents, because there are a lot. I'm going to do a separate video on the documents you need, but I'm just telling you my Canada story generally. So I got all my documents. I got the ones I needed from Nigeria, and I got the ones I needed from Ukraine. I got the ones I needed from school, and then I packed everything together inside a file, because I applied online. So I put everything into a file and I squeezed it. Because the gig they give is not enough. Like the gig they give on, like, if you know, they give a very small gig, and if you don't put all the documents inside there, they will deny you. Because by the laws of Canada, if you want to come here to study, you have to have your 1-year tuition and an extra 10,000 Canadian dollars to support you for a year. Because finding a job here, it's hit or miss, right? If you're lucky, you get a job early. If you're not, so you have to have money to be able to take care of yourself. They want to know that you can be able to take care of yourself and not be a nuisance in the streets. First of all, I said a lot of Nigerians don't know how to write. So now the visa process, you have to have a statement of interest. There are 3 reasons why people get denied of visa: insufficient funds, 2 is lack of ties to home country, and 3 is like fraudulent documents and stuff. For being a Nigerian in Ukraine, the most reason why they would deny somebody, a foreigner in Ukraine, from getting a Canadian visa is ties to home country, right? That ties to home country is very simple. It's not as complicated as it sounds. It's just basically like, if Canada doesn't work out, or if you're done with school, where will you go? You're not in your home, you're not applying from Nigeria, so they don't know if you have a place to stay in Nigeria. So what I did was I secured myself in both my home country and where I was, right? So now, being in Ukraine, what I did was I already had a permanent resident of Ukraine. So my permanent resident basically was my tie to Ukraine. One other important step I did that made my visa fast was I did upfront medicals. So I basically told them I was going to do the medicals before submitting everything. Then I got the form and I had to go to Kyiv to do my medicals. I don't know if this information is important because God, there's war right now. Everybody is like, the country is in shambles and it's so heartbreaking. It's like, it's so sad. So I don't know if this information is like going to be useful, but anyway, I'll just tell you. So I did my medicals in Kyiv because I don't stay in Kyiv, I stay in Kharkov. So I came back to Kharkov, then I applied for my study permit, and it was out like in a month. So everything took like a month to be processed. So like I said, my case is very different. So when I got my visa back, I still couldn't believe it. When they asked me, when they requested for my passport, I was like, huh? This is barely 1 month. What the hell? So I sent my passport to Kyiv because I didn't want to go back, and I just sent it to the Nova Pochta. That's like a post office. I sent it to them because it was already paid for with the biometrics money. So they stamped my stuff, got me my paper, and sent it back to me. I was like, ah! My paper came like in 2 days after I had sent it. I got my everything fresh, everything clean. So then I kept it on the low. I was basically running my things low-key. The dark year just seemed like there was a light at the end of the tunnel. So I prepared, and that was how I basically moved to Canada. So the trip was grueling. My connecting flight to Edmonton was I had like 3 hours in between. So I was like, yeah, that's enough time. Joke. Maybe it was because of the period I came. I had just 3 hours in between, and I felt like it was going to be enough. When I tell you that I got to the study permit line, hey, I got to the, I have not seen this amount of people in my entire life in one place before. That line, we were in line from, I landed 6 p.m. Vancouver time, and I left there 11 p.m. Vancouver time. My flight was supposed to be for 8. Then they moved it to 9. So I got there. By the time I was done with everything, it was 11, and flight have gone. Everybody, literally, when I was talking to like the security men, I was like, my flight is in 2 hours, I cannot wait. And he was like, yeah, everybody's going to miss their flights. Bros, this guy didn't even care about my well-being. He didn't care about anything. He was like, yeah, everybody's going to miss their flights. There's nothing you can do about it. So just sit back, sit tight. He basically told me sit tight, that they will reschedule all of us for the next available flight. I said, okay, no problem. And then I went to beg the man again. He was like, okay, I should try and talk to the people in front to see if they will let me pass. You see the way I did the low key, I followed the man behind his back like he was the one going. And then there were Indians in front. I was like, please guys, like, I'm going to miss my flight. I literally told them that my flight was at 7. My flight was at 9. I lied. I told them that, please guys, I'm going to miss, and they were like, okay, I can enter after them. I said, okay. So I skipped, like, I wouldn't have left there at 11. Leave people, like, people were still there. People even missed the flight. People got on the evening flight of the next day. Like, there were a lot of students. So they let me in, and that one was another process. Oh god. And I couldn't skip because they had already given our documents according to how we were standing. So I couldn't like beg them to go to front. I just had to wait. So where I was in that place for another hour and a half. And then they now finally called my name. I was like, Jesus, thank you. Some of the immigration officers, they are so mean. They will stamp on your study permit that you can't work. Some of them will even send you back home based on the question and the answers based on the answers you give them. So you have to be very, very careful. You have to be very calculative, and you have to listen. Like, try and listen to the kind of questions they are asking everybody, because that was what I was doing. I was like, my ear was on the ground, because again, I did a lot of research, and I know someone who they stamped that she couldn't work on her study permit, and she wasn't aware until she left the airport. That's another problem that you don't even want to get into. So make sure when you get your study permit at your port of entry, read the last line. Make sure that you are eligible to work, because it go choke you. I'm telling you it. So basically, I was listening, and then they finally called my name. He was like, oh, where are you from? I was like, Nigeria. He was like, how come your name is Michaels? I was like, because my name is Michaels. What? You know, coming from Ukraine, everybody is rude and mean. So me, I was not even like happy or smiley. Thank God I had the mask on. They would have sent me back. So I was like, yeah, like, I don't know, that's just my name. So he was like, okay, like, where Nigeria are you from? I was now like basically conversing with the guy. He was just like, oh, when is your birthday? I was like, May 2nd. He was like, oh, his daughter is May Kiniko. He was like, okay, enjoy your stay in Canada. You know your passport will soon expire, because my passport is expiring 23 and I have a study permit valid till 2025. So usually they will give you the length of your passport. Like, if you know your passport will soon expire, don't apply for a Canadian visa, just go and renew your passport. And I couldn't renew it because I had 3 years on it, but technically it's not enough to the length of my program. So he was like, your passport will expire, don't forget to be like, do your passport on time and apply for your study permit on time, so you will not get into any problems. So I was like, okay, thank you. I was like, oh, you can go. So we went out, they did the COVID test, and then we went upstairs to Air Canada. Air Canada was not like, oh, the earliest flight is the next day at 8 a.m. I said, oh, it's not that bad. They said check-in will start at 6. I said, Jesus, which kind of airport be this one? But I said, okay, no wahala, book me. I said, okay, me, I don't know anybody now. I said, sha, 8 o'clock, I'm going. I was like, okay, well, I said I couldn't sleep. It was so cold, guys, because I was doing fashion girl. I wore jeans and sneakers. If you see the size of my ankles, hey, picture will be inserted. Like, honestly, this story, if you see the size of my ankles, gorged, very fat, like this, blood has gathered there, because I wore sneakers and I wore socks. Like, wrong move. Travel light, travel comfy. Immediately I got my other ticket. I went to the bathroom, and thank God, like my sweats were in the box that was easy to access. So I accessed that. I got my sweats and I got my Crocs. I just couldn't even be bothered. So there was a black guy there, and I was like, oh please, I'm so cold, do you have a spare socks? He was like, yeah. So he gave me a spare socks. This guy basically helped me and, you know, gave me socks, and I was warm. So I tried to get some sleep. I couldn't sleep, so, and then I started just walking around, looking around the place, like seeing places too, and then I started watching a movie. So it was like 5. I said, let me go and look for the check-in place. Guys, if you see line, they said check-in will start at 6, so people are there since 4 a.m. checking in. I'm like, which kind of problem is this one? So anyway, I said, no problem. I joined the line. So I went to meet the woman. My fear was that they were going to make me pay for extra luggage again. So we already said, but I was like, God, this people that have checked out my luggage, let people know I don't have money. And I went to this thing. The woman was now, she now looked at my boxes. I said, God, I was like, God, please. I was like, see, I call on all the angels, all my favor, all my grace. I call upon everything. She was now like, oh, here's your boarding pass. Put my name on all my boxes. I was like, Jesus. Because the person before me had to pay. She literally told the person that you have checked out your luggage, and this is like considered a new flight, and it's a local flight. God, I was like, Jesus. She was like, okay, like she remembers me from the night before that. Hope I'm not too stressed and stuff, because I was literally almost crying. She was like, she now puts my this thing. Now she even helped me carry my this thing for inspection and put it inside my heavy bag. She left the desk. Like that, the favor that was on my head that day. See, I have goosebumps on my body thinking about that day. I had favor following me. So now we went we went to our flight for 8. They say people with not that SS is not seat number, that we are on standby. Standby means if anybody cancel, you take the seat. I said, Chineke. The flight for 8 was already full. I already gave up. I now went to another Air Canada customer care. They said they will book me in for 11. She was like, the probability of you getting on that. I said, bitch, I haven't slept in 24 hours. I'm jet lagged. Don't piss me off. Then I was already giving up. I've already carried my box and I started going. Then I said, the woman literally knew my name, the desk woman, because of how much trouble. The woman now said, she now called me Margaret. I thought she was like, come. Hey, one Arab guy wanted to come and take my place. I said, you mad? See me, my ankle healed. I was limping to make them pity me. I started running giddy with my boxes. Then she was not like, oh, you can go, you have one seat. Yo guys, when I entered the flight, I think it was a 2-hour flight. I slept. Like I knocked out even before the plane took off. The next thing that woke me up was my seatmate tapping me. Like, oh, we have to go. I didn't even feel that the plane had landed. That was how tired I was. So I got down. Then I forgot my luggage. See, they forgot my luggage in Vancouver. I say, nah, which kind? They now said, oh, give us your stay address, that we'll bring it to your door. I said, better. You guys, sorry, I wasn't aware I had the white stuff. So then I found I found a one-room place for like an international homestay. I was calling like messaging the woman back to back. She was like, oh my god, that she's been so busy that that I could come over and like see the place. So I came. I had the whole basement to myself. The rent was quite affordable, and I stayed with the family until I got my place now. And they helped me. I still go to their house for dinner, for Christmas, New Year. Like it's like my family here, you know. So that's basically my story in a nutshell. I've highlighted the steps I took, and I've told you a little bit of the story time of how I moved here. So if you have more questions, leave it in the comment box, add me on Instagram, send me questions so that I can answer them in another video, because I am going to, like I said, I'm going to film more specific videos like how to write an SOP, how to write a statement of interest, how to get full funding, and all of those things. I'm going to make like a series of videos. I just have not had the time to do it because of school. So this brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell everybody to tell a friend to come and watch your girl, you know. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you have a blessed and glorious day. I hope you have a wonderful week and month and year ahead of you. Many more content, many more videos to come. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you definitely. I will see you in my next video. I'm trying to be consistent. I'm going to try and drop one video per week, fingers crossed. So I'm going to see you in my next video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for loving and supporting me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.